He's gotta save the world now. But for now, just do me one favor. Your sister, Akira. Keep her safe. You got it? Do that for me.
Hello everyone, it's Chobra here, coming back with another episode of Astral Chain. We're gonna have to start with some bad news this time around. So, the last episode ended very dramatically. There were a lot of touching moments, a lot happened story-wise. And then, I paused the record, I paused the game, I picked it up again without hitting the record button, realized it several minutes through, quit the game hoping that it didn't save, and then rebooted it. Thanks to the great autosave feature, it saved after the cinematic that happens once you come back to base, so we're missing that. You're going to see us get teleported right into the training room. So I'm going to fill you in real quick. Basically what happened is we come back, we report what happened. Obviously the commander saw everything that happened. He thinks it's crazy. One, that the legions have run away, but two, he's just amazed that our main character recaptured the legion and then controlled it to just a crazy amount. And now that our main character is the only one with the legion, because everyone else lost theirs to the astral plane, the commander is telling us that we're basically the center of the new team because we're the only Legionis, and the team's going to be built around us.
I mean, if it were me, I'd be using that thing to try to save Dad right about now. Can't believe the commander. He's so obsessed with chimeras, he hardly notices Dad's gone. But Dad's still alive out there. I know he is.
And with that, the result is a lot of passive aggression from our twin sister Akira. She's quite upset because obviously our dad's gone, but she was basically helpless because she lost her legion. And obviously I've kept mine, or I've recaptured mine, so there's a little bit of passive aggression going on there. But that's the gist of it. I am very sorry once again that we skipped that cinematic because it was a pretty crucial story point. But afterwards, basically, we were told to come to the training room because we have a lot more to learn with the Legion. You saw Lappy, the mascot of the Force, kind of guiding us through that training program. And then now, what that did is unlock the skill trees of this game. So, skill trees in this game are focused around your legions. It is not focused around you. In fact, I think we'll see it later here. But for you, you just upgrade your X baton, and it increases your attack damage and a couple other things. It gives you a couple new commands you can do as combos, and then you can also upgrade your legatus, which basically upgrades like your health and your charge time for your legions. No other skill trees. Your combos are basically a couple extra commands every level or so. The, I guess, traditional skill tree format is all around the legions, as you just saw, and this is where we can start using a lot of those points that we didn't know what they were for. So a lot of those cores, a lot of those gene codes, that's all for unlocking legion skills. As it's been hinted multiple times, we later capture different legions, and we'll be able to spread those points across different skill trees. And this also finally unlocked the ability to assign ability slots to our legions. So for instance, this gives us like a little bit of reduced energy use, even when that legion's not in use. There's a lot of other options we're going to find out later. Right now it's pretty limited because we're early on, but at the point of the game where I'm at currently at the time of the recording, there's a lot, in fact, where I have to make so many different choices. The skill tree, I actually, because the bottom's also just locked out, so you don't really know what's hidden there. So I don't know how deep it goes, but for me, the most important thing is there's different skills that you can unlock within it, right? And then you can assign those. I believe every legion only has 2 skill slots. I don't know if later you can expand that. Maybe you can actually. Maybe that is one of the things you can unlock in the skill tree. I don't remember. But therefore, there's a couple choices to be made there. So what we just unlocked is the kind of spinning sword that we actually saw our Legion use against us when he turned back into a Chimera. But that basically gives him like free AoE attack damage, spin to win. And because the Legion at the end of the day attacks automatically, we're going to start with that one and see where it takes us. There's a lot of cool stuff later on, just as a heads up, right? If we're going to do a little bit of a teaser, like you can do a auto bind where it binds everyone in like a cone in front of you, so you don't have to manually try to bind them one by one, chain bind them rather, and that's how you start setting up a lot of different combos, because you do one, like let's say you do an auto bind with one Legion and then you move on to the next, you instantly switch and they have like, I don't know, maybe like an AoE explosion, and then you're doing your own combos in the middle of that. It starts to get really flashy. It's funny because I think up to even this point in the game I was like, yeah, the game's like, the action's fast, but it's not really what I was expecting, because I was expecting just a lot more unique combo based combat, and because your character's combat, melee combat, is pretty limited, it felt that the promises weren't kept. And then as I played through and started unlocking different legions and different skills, I was like, oh, okay, you gotta revolve around those, because what then happens is you unlock extra sync attacks. So we saw a couple of those earlier, like when you finish a combo, your Legatus flashes, and you can do a sync attack, which is like a stronger combo attack with your Legion. But you can start activating those at different points in a combo. And that's how it expands on the combat system. So this episode, once again, I think this, if I remember correctly, this mission is pretty much the last of like the big bulk of tutorial missions. There's a couple extra things that pop up here. So what we're seeing right now is Lappy's basically giving us a tour of the facilities. We walked around it earlier just because I do that in every game, but now we're going to get proper introductions for everything and get to utilize every single aspect a little bit more. So this is going to be our room for upgrades.
Division.
And this is where we see a lot of the character of Lappy.
From Expaton upgrades.
Who, oh, that's also what we missed. I think that's part of the cutscene we missed.
If Lappy's here, that can only mean one thing. You're getting the Name's Tabitha. Tabitha Bernard.
We'll wait for this to finish
I'm
up.
the genius in charge of tuning up and tricking out y'all's gear, especially the Expaton and Legatus. Huh? Wait. Oh, don't tell me. You're not actually taking that Expaton out in the
so
field,
much dramatic
are you?
editing.
Why, it's practically stock. No, that won't do. Wait, I'll get it fixed up for you. Or shoot, I would. I forgot I'm all out of material codes. But there's no way I'm letting you walk out of here like that. You might as well be naked. Hey, Ted? 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 He can't hear me. I'll tell you what. I'll start setting up if you'll go get Ted's attention. Tell him you need me.
I love that for the sake of the tutorial, they can't like walk across the room 15 feet to get each other's attention. But as I was saying, the other thing we missed in that cutscene, I believe, is we meet Marie Wentz, who does a lot of the clerical work around the Force, and she is the first character that is in the Lappy costume. But she pretends that you didn't notice, and she keeps on trying to keep up this double personality. That's also an important story note because it comes to fruition later. So again, my apologies. It's also a pretty funny moment. There's gonna be clips of the cutscene somewhere else. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was just revisiting a few of my favorite explosions. Ted Garcia, so who are you? Oh, right, you're one of the
You can tell I'm like
newbies.
frantically trying to skip
What can
through
I
stuff
do
because I'm
for
like,
you?
oh my gosh, I missed so much.
Material codes, huh? Well, you have to go through the proper procedure.
So this basically teaches you like what you can get from shops and how to buy and what material codes are used for. So eventually what this guy sells are grenades. So far there's only 3. The point of the game where I'm at, there's still only 3, so I don't know if that ever expands. I would assume it does, because it seems weird to have an extra character just for 3 grenades, but I'm not sure just yet. So we get material codes, so that's what you use to upgrade your X-Baton and Legatus. I believe those are also used to like unlock new skill tree paths for your Legion. But when you're trying to invest in a new skill point for a Legion, it's not the material codes, it's the gene codes, which are basically a whole separate point system that you get for killing Chimera.
Now, let me see.
So, yeah, so you can see we can upgrade the Legatus, which gives you like a little bit of extra recovery for your revive system, and also increases your energy for summoning your Legion. The first upgrade for the X-Baton basically unlocks the Gladius Sword mode. Later on, what it does is, like I said, adds new commands to your combo, so you can do like a front-back attack to issue a new command to your Legion, or do a new move as part of your combo. So that's how they expand it. It's not... And thankfully so, it's not any more complicated, like adding new buttons or whatever it might be. It's just, you know, maybe changing the order or some directional inputs for your attack. So yeah, you can see now you have like a charge attack and things like that. So that upgrades all the way through. Obviously, it upgrades the attack damage for each different mode. The X-Baton comes with 3 modes. This I'm still not used to. Basically having to like in a action-packed game, having to let go of your movement to use the D-pad is a little counterintuitive for me. And if it was shaped like a Xbox controller, right? No, if it was shaped like a PS4 controller, then you could at least like claw the left side if you really wanted to. But I was going to say Wii Pro Controller. No, the Switch Pro Controller is not. It's actually shaped like an Xbox, so the D-pad's under, so you can't really do that either. I'm sure there's some creative ways that people have found to use an Xbox or Pro Controller to use both the D-pad and the control stick, but
order of his that I never got to deliver.
I'm not going to go that far.
That camera should have all the upgrades he asked for. Even Chimeras should show up nice and clear now. I even threw in a data card for free, so you can start using it right away.
Ah, right. We unlocked the photo mode. As seems to be tradition for every game nowadays.
Wow, nice camera. Let's try it out. Come on, partner. Take my picture.
So there's a photo mode. There are challenges tied to it, but it's mostly to unlock more stuff for your camera, like new filters. So it's cool. There's just so much else to track that I'm not that great at tracking things like this, but we'll test it out here because we have to move on because Lappy's blocking the way. So there's already a couple filters. But yeah, when I looked through the list, there's like an insane list of filters that you can unlock. So they definitely put in a lot of time for people who wanted to capture like unique scenics or even unique characters. And with the artistic design and aesthetic design of this game, I can definitely see a lot of value in that. There's also a selfie mode. I think we tested out here in a second. So you can have your character pose with whatever. So you can do like the funny photos of you posing with like a Chimera boss or whatever. I know a lot of people, there are more creative people out there that have a lot more fun with things like that than me. Yeah, so there's me looking very serious. Yeah, there's different poses. I think you probably unlock more poses too later, I'd assume. So yeah, lots to do there. For now, we just take a picture of Lappy just to move on.
Looks like it works. Hang on to it until Max gets back, okay? He'll want to see all the pictures you took.
All the pictures.
Okay, partner. See you at the next stop.
Okay, so basically the bulk of the rest of the episode is us going through and touring each facility. The commentary is pretty self-explanatory in the game. So I'm going to hold off on a lot of commentary. I guess just one note for this next section, we go into training to try out the new different modes for the X-Baton. So we'll do that. You'll see us scanning through, and then at the end of this episode, there's another story beat that pushes us into the next mission. We'll watch through the tour of the rest of the facilities, and I'll be back towards the end of the episode.
Iris, start Iris, shut down. display. Iris, shut down.
This is the break room, where dog-tired members of Neuron come to catch their breath. And thanks to Ben, you can get a tasty pick-me-up whenever you need one. Who's Ben, you ask? Why, she's right here. Meet Vendor 3, the diligent dispenser of liquid refreshment. Thanks to her onboard AI, she's always got a kind word. You know, Avery says an energy drink is the best thing before heading out. So even Lappy laps one up every now and then. Hey, you're not hurt, are ya? Well, if you are, the infirmary is the place to go. Dr. Brenda's got enough medicine for everyone at rock-bottom prices. But, just between you and me, every time I'm in here, the doc can't stop smiling at this old dog. I wonder if she wants to experiment on me. Look, I'm a Labrador, not a lab rat. Anyway, I've got a lot to do, so see you later. This is the restroom. It's for everyone, so make sure you keep it clean. Even I'm house-trained after all. Oh, by the way, Shizu says there's some kind of spirit that lives in here. Oh, I'm sure she's just joking. Right? Right. Suddenly, I feel the need to go sniff the roses. Bet you're wondering what this is, right? Well, this is the Legatus terminal. If you connect your Legatus, you can change your Legion's colors or perform maintenance. Maintenance means making sure your Legion is all shiny and clean again. I've never seen a Legion, but fighting chimeras and Lappy definitely likes a nice bath. After you clean them, you can change their armor. Maybe old Lappy could use a change of color too. Anyway, gotta run, partner.
Bark, partner. I'm working hard, I see. I don't believe we've met. I'm Marie Wentz. Lappy told me so much about you, I feel like I know you already. there is something I need to talk to you about. Look, I know you're really busy, and we just met, but... Oh, I can't say it out here. Let's meet somewhere more private. How about the garage downstairs? Whenever you're ready, but maybe try to hurry just a little bit, okay?
This here's the Neuron locker room. You have a locker. You can try out all. Nothing like it. Sometimes even your old pal Lappy likes to change his coat. I've got to get running.
So, that's Neuron HQ as a reward for your dedication.
Oh, good, you came. Not that I thought you wouldn't. So... here. I met this little guy while out on patrol. I couldn't just leave him out there. One look in those big eyes and... And you had to bring him back, right? Oh! Akira! What are you doing here? I saw him coming down here and wondered if something was up. Call it an itch I had to scratch. And speaking of scratches, stray animals are very likely to carry chimeric corruption. You of all people should know that bringing them here is way, way off limits, Marie. I know, but... Look, hand the kitty over to me. I'll make sure he gets back where he came from. Safe and sound. Oh, no. I bought so much. So much cat food. The good stuff, too. Oh, now what am I gonna do? Eat it myself?
We've gotten reports of several missing persons around Maison Forest, in Zone 30. It's more than the local police can handle, so they put the call out to... Let's wrap things up before it gets... Akira, do you read me? Akira! Oh, what? Jeez, are you even... You're going to Maison Forest. What's that? Wouldn't have taken you for a slacker. Anyway, all the other officers have their own assignments, so go support the Legiones, okay? If, of course, you're feeling up to it. Maison Forest. That's perfect. What? Come on, let's get going. Get ready and I'll meet you on the roof. Chop chop. Oh my. Okay, well, take your time and make sure you don't forget anything before you go.
Alright, so hope you enjoyed the little tour around the facilities. That is pretty much the end of all the tours for HQ, unless it, I don't know, maybe later on in the game we unlock more wings. I don't know yet. And then we had a little bit of a moment there with Marie and Akira and cats, which end up being another part of the game. I don't know how crucial it's going to be towards building up the plot towards the end, but it plays a neat little side role in gameplay and the story. gives Akira a little bit more character as well. And that's going to be about it for this episode. We basically get ready for the mission and we're going to head out. And then now this is where we start diving into the main plot, right? So now we're at the center of the Neuron team. We're the only one with the Legion, and we're out to investigate. And since we're the only one with the Legion, we're the only one that can do a lot of the crazy stuff, including like cleaning up red matter and battling chimeras.
In a series of missing persons cases, and it's in Maison Force. So once we're done with the investigation, I can. What? If it's about that cat, forget about it. I told you, I already dealt with it. No more cats here. Nope, no more cats. Come on, ready
Definitely
to go?
more cats. Akira's hiding something.
Next stop.
Well, that's it for this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more action as we dive into the mission in the next episode of Astral Chain. If you liked the video, drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.